This week in our Old Testament reading, we have a reading from the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is noted for saying vanity of vanities, all is vanity. And some people read Ecclesiastes as saying, it doesn't matter. And in fact, it has a more complicated message because it does recognize a reality that our righteousness before God seems to have nothing to do with success in the world. In that, sometimes the righteous people prosper, and sometimes they suffer. And sometimes the wicked people prosper, and sometimes they suffer. And there doesn't seem to be rhyme or reason to it, and it's that last bit that it actually wants to speak to. It can handle the idea that maybe bad things can happen to good people, but that there's no predictability at all. It seems to be that our relationship with God has nothing to do with how we interact. And that's really what it's trying to present. It's not the only book. The book of Job has a very similar message. But then it asks us to dive deeper. One is it asks us to look into community, and you look for wisdom. That you discover that in fact your relationship with God has everything to do with your life now, but not about something as simple as success or failure, but instead something that really lasts, which is to say, how are we interacting and relating with other human beings? How do we love one another and care for one another? How do we see God actually present in our lives? Well, honestly, if it was a measure of suffering or positive experience, well, that's a pretty manipulative God. Instead, our God is a God that draws us together into relationship, which is the most lasting thing we have on this earth. And so that the book of Ecclesiastes is drawing us together and saying the wisdom of God is found not in success at all or failure, but instead in love, in relationship, in caring for one another, in family, in being the hands and feet in Jesus to each other. That's where we have the real connection between one another. This is 2 Minutes Together. I'm Pastor Ben.